Before we get into the video, I have a quick note to make. You are currently watching Scratches Day 2, and I forgot to mention why I'm playing Scratches in the video. I'm playing Scratches to prepare for Agustin Cortez, the creator of Scratches, his new game, Asylum, which will be coming out soon. It was supposed to come out March 6th, which is today, today when I'm recording this, but they've since pushed the date back to the 13th. Which is actually good. It actually helps me to catch up a little bit. They might push the date back again. We'll see, but let them do what they need to do. We want the game to be good. But I just wanted to make note of that. And if you are interested in following Agustin Cortez's new game, Asylum, the Steam page will be linked in the description, as well as how to play Scratches, and a bunch of other links that you might be interested in. And now, back to the video. Hello fellow witches and wizards, my name is Phoenix Jenny and welcome back to Let's Play Scratches Director's Cut. Okay, so now we're on day 2. We just woke up from a spooky dream and now we're going to see what's next for our adventure here, because it's clearly raining, if you can hear that. So relaxing. This is my favorite day of the game. It is so cozy and relaxing, and we do have some spooky, interesting discoveries today as well, so very excited about that. But yeah. The view was inspiring. Jerry had picked the right room for me. It would be ideal when doing some work. Yes. So it's raining, and I don't know why rain is going to prevent anybody from coming to help me out with electricity, but it is apparently. So, as you saw in the last video, he said that he abandoned all hope of anybody coming to fix the electricity today. So that is the issue we have right now. It was too early to go to bed. You're not going to make your bed, Michael? You slob! Alright, well that's alright. Let's go into the gallery, because we had a dream about a door behind the cabinet with the tusks. So I'm going to see if anything has changed, because I totally forgot to do that last night. Everything looks normal. It wouldn't move. The display case was holding perhaps... Well, yes, I knew that. I was trying to look down here. Yeah, the panel's been concealing a couple of wheels, and we don't have anything that can fix that. But we do have a journal. Let's read what the journal says. This house is amazing, far beyond my wildest dreams. Jerry's efforts have truly exceeded my expectations. I'd better get acquainted right away. Jerry says the electrician should be on his way to solve the lights problem. I feel relieved. It seems the house is out of power. You can't have everything, I guess. Hopefully it's just a minor glitch, but I should tell Jerry. I managed to reveal a letter that seems to be in Italian. I'm curious about it, so I should try to find a way to translate it. I'm speechless. I've just read an incredible story about a mysterious African tribe, the personal memories of this James Blackwood person. Even if it isn't true, it's simply terrific material. Judging by the stuff I've been seeing around, this Blackwood was really into African culture. Perfect! The room that Jerry ordered to be prepared for me has to have the best spot in the whole house, with a huge window overlooking the garden. The view is breathtaking and inspiring, and is bound to permit me to concentrate on my work. I should probably start working right away, but I'm really dying to explore the place. I have uncovered a very tempting safe in the main bedroom behind a fake painting. Its hinges were fairly visible. The family probably used to store valuables, or at least interesting things there. So I should try to come up with the combination. I stayed for a while at the front gates, but the electrician never showed up. I'm getting worried. Bloody hell. It seems the electrician came by, but I somehow missed him. It must have been while I was unpacking my stuff upstairs. I wonder why he didn't just come in. I found the gate unlocked when I came here and left it that way. He probably didn't notice that. Now Jerry is still telling me the electrician can't come back today. I don't like the idea of spending a night in total darkness here, and Jerry's bright idea is to look for candles. Great. Barbara has kindly agreed to translate the letter for me. She's such a dear. And smart. If only she were prettier. God, Michael, you can't be so shallow. I'd better go... What a jerk. I never read his journal before. I'd better go and mail her that letter. Oh my. I've looked around the whole place, but I can't find any candles. What am I supposed to do now? Well, there goes the crowning glory of my troubled first day. The car won't start. The cursed fog is the culprit. I forgot and left the lights on, and of course I have been too busy to bother with the car. I should ask Jerry to come for me. Jerry won't be able to drive today. I'm on my own, alone, no lights, and I don't even know the house yet. I did know what I was getting into by coming here, but this isn't what I was expecting. Now Jerry tells me that a gruesome murder occurred inside this house. First exciting stories about barbaric tribes, and now an old-fashioned murder. I feel like I have struck a gold mine here. Well, that's it for today. It wasn't exactly the first day I was expecting, but I'll get over it. In spite of everything, I'm looking forward to continuing the exploring of my incredible new home tomorrow. I found an article regarding the murder Jerry told me about. The situation was vague and left many queries. I wonder if Blackwood was wrongfully accused. I was awakened in the middle of the night by some strange sounds, like an obsessive scratching, coming from somewhere deep in the house. I don't like this at all, and I should probably investigate. I managed to trace the sounds to a fireplace. They are indeed coming from below the house. Perhaps some machinery? No, impossible. Not without power. Vermin? It just doesn't sound like it. Sadly, I won't be able to investigate the sounds anymore. I can't proceed inside the basement without some light. I guess I'll have to cope with them for the time being. Fortunately, the sounds have stopped. At last I can sleep again, but still I should look into this. Probably nothing to worry about, but you never know. I woke today to a fierce thunderstorm. The rain is heavy and I can hardly make out the garden. I don't recall ever seeing something like this. It looks like I'll be stranded inside the house for the whole day. Also, I had an interesting dream yesterday. Something was luring me to a hidden door in the gallery. I should look into this, just in case it's meaningful. Forget the crazy idea that you dreamt about it. Which I think he comes up with an explanation for it later, that he somehow saw the door in the crack behind this case. And, whoa! I'm sorry! I didn't know you could do that! I'm pressing the WASD. Because I totally forgot that that's not how this game works. I didn't know you could do that. It's not particularly helpful. I think it just makes you look up, down, left, right. I don't think it's that helpful. I need to stop doing that. Oh, you can see. A frame was visible behind the case. Could we see it yesterday? I'd have to see the footage. I don't know if you could see it the other day, but I'm not so sure you could. But that is interesting, for sure. Oh, nope, not WASD. Sorry. I keep forgetting. I've been playing a lot of The Sims, so I'm used to having my hands on the keyboard. Okay, so there is a door behind there, but we can't exactly get there yet. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna call Jerry, because that's what you do when you don't really know what to do. So we're gonna call Jerry and see what's up with the weather. Or he's gonna call us! Right on cue, Jerry!
Hello?
Michael, how are you doing over there? The sky's falling here.
You mean this storm has hit there too? Seems the entire universe is falling here. I'm afraid to go outside.
Well, the better then, as I won't be able to come for you. I'm deeply sorry, but it's seemingly impossible driving to Northumberland. Even less getting anywhere near the manor. I understand many of the roads are closed.
So much for my hopes of seeing Mr. Electrician today, then. Ah, the benefits of being away from society, eh? I should have listened to you.
Don't panic. I'll come right for you, as soon as this thing is over. You just hang on in there.
It's not like I have any other choice, do I?
I'm afraid not, my friend. This storm has the power to disturb the dead.
Well, it'd seem like this very same storm has awakened the evil spirits resting inside my new home.
What's that?
Not sure, but I happened to hear some odd sounds last night. Kind of scratching noises down in the basement.
I do remember the cleaning lady saying something about rats.
Unless we're talking about mutant rats here, I don't think that's the problem.
Rats of unusual
Michael, my
size?
friend,
I don't
you
think they
were tired
exist.
from a long trip and stressed about the problems you found there. On top of that, you had moved to a very old house. Guess what's the most common complaint from people moving to old houses?
Ghosts on the loose?
Sort of. Now go focus on your book while you still have enough light. I'll be there as soon as possible.
Thanks. Bye.
Okay. Okay. I think we need to call Jerry again, because he needs to give us the combination to the safe.
Hello?
Jerry, it's me.
What's up, Michael?
I found a safe box
There we
in a room upstairs. Would you happen to know the combination?
I think I should. Let me see. I have the combination for the safe right here.
Oh, great. Tell me.
03211. Just remember to share it if you bump into any expensive jewelry.
Of course I will. Bye.
Of course I will, Jerry. Okay, so now we have the combination. So now we can go upstairs and open the safe. And I will say that we can't call Barbara because it's Sunday. In case you were wondering if we're gonna call her. Actually, we'll never call her again. Just so you know, if you click on the phone, try to call her, you can't bother her on a Sunday. Okay, the safe. Okay, so let's open this, and it should open for us automatically. There we go. Mr. James T. Blackwood, the Blackwood Manor, Rothbury, Northumberland. Dear Sir, we hereby propose to furnish all equipment, materials, and labor to complete the contract for the construction of a second floor, a third floor for people in America, because the first floor isn't considered the first floor, it's considered the ground floor. So a third floor for the Blackmore Manor of Rothbury, Northumberland, in accordance with plans and specifications prepared by Mr. James T. Blackwood, dated October 31st, 1960, I can't read that, this word here, I'm going to say sums, but it doesn't even look like that, for the sums as follows. Base bid, £34,136. Alternate number 1, deduct £1,000. Alternate number 2, deduct £1,500. Alternate number 3, add £350. Alternate number 4, add £300. Unit price number 1, £1 per cubic yard. Unit price number 2, £12.50 per cubic yard. We agree to commence the work as directed and complete all work thereafter within a reasonable length of time based on our ability to secure materials. Employer understands the construction may last from 18 to 24 months. Permission is granted to make use of the special bank account 319102 created for this particular occasion, located at the National Bank of Northumberland. Contact number 01912-94144. And I don't think the game records that number for you. I'm not even sure if it's necessary to call that number, but I do know you can call that number, so I'm going to write that down. And we also have a key. And money, but we don't care about that, apparently. Okay, so we're going to go call that number first. And then we'll use that key on the locked door upstairs. Alright. 0191 0191 294. Is that a 4? I can't read my own writing. I think it's 2941. 2941. 4-4. Am I wrong? Let me double check the number. It is Sunday. Wait a minute. It's Sunday. The bank isn't open on Sunday. You have to call them tomorrow. All right, forget it. I totally forgot about that. Okay, so let's go open this locked door with this key we found. Okay, remember this door? Well, this is the key to the door, I believe. Yeah. And funnily enough, there's no key on the floor, even though we pushed a key through the keyhole yesterday. Oh well. And we got some paintings in here. Some creepy paintings. This unfinished room seemed to have been used as a storeroom for some sinister paintings. I think it might just be me, but I think this one looks a little bit like Trump. I think it looks like President Donald Trump. Just a little bit. I don't know what it is about it, but I've never heard anybody say that, so I'll say it. Whoever painted these pictures must have been deeply disturbed. I think it might have been Catherine Blackwood that did the paintings, although I don't think we ever find out who did the paintings. Okay, we got a hammer, which will help us get to that secret door. And, we've got a couple of items we need to get on this table, and you don't want to miss any of them, and they can be easy to miss. There is a key here. I forget what it opens. But we'll figure it out. We need this paint can lid. I picked up the lid of the can as I thought it might come in handy. Several cans of paint were scattered throughout the room, probably all dried up by now. And we're going to look at, I think those are the two things you need, and then we can look at this blueprint here. And this is a blueprint of the house. The house was actually designed and built like a real house would be. And he has something to say about each room. The entrance to the house, obviously. The living room. That was the study with the gorgeous collection of books. Dining room. The smallest of the hallways. The kitchen, evidently. The staircase leading to the basement. The sad room once occupied by the servant. And the servant's bathroom, of course. Okay, and this is the second floor. The entrance to the house, obviously. My lovely room. The long lower hallway. The main bedroom. The long lower hallway again. Okay. The bathroom on the second floor. It was the strange African gallery. Can we look at the top floor? We can. The last hallway, left unfinished and full of garbage. All of the rooms on this floor seem to be in very poor condition. We didn't want to say anything more about that. The last hallway, left unfinished and full of garbage. All of the rooms on this floor... Okay, so... Common sense dictated it was the very same room I was standing in now. Did you see it? Did you notice something? Did you notice something odd? Something that I intentionally skipped over? Well, you see... Oh, the hall where the handy telephone was, right there. There's a room that I missed. This one. That was odd. I didn't remember seeing that room. So there's a secret room that we can't seem to get into in the house. How many of you getting a brand brand new. Getting a new home that's an old Victorian mansion, finding the blueprints to that place, and discovering there's a room you can't get to in the blueprints. How wild would that be? I would do anything to get into that room. I'd have to know. The curiosity would just eat me up inside. I would have to know why that room was closed off. And I just think that would just be incredible. So, our goal for today is to get into that secret room. But first, let's go ahead and go through this door and explore this next room. More useless bricks. I don't think there's anything useful here. There is a rope here. There are some sinister theories as to why that rope is there. A large rope was hanging from a railing above. And we're going to go up this ladder. We're going to go forward. A useless can of grease. A very dirty can. And an oil can we can use on those wheels. Several dusty cans were sitting on the platform. It was just an ordinary can of paint. Okay, so this can is very dirty, and if you're used to playing adventure games, especially Hopa games, you know that means you gotta clean it. If something is dirty, you need to clean it. That's the game's clue that you need to clean it. So, we're gonna clean this can. A quick cleaning revealed that it was a can of oil. There appeared to be oil in that can, and we need that oil. So let's go ahead and use the boring tool to make a hole in it. I managed to pierce a hole in the can. There's a small hole in the can, and we're going to put some oil in the lamp. Yeah! I poured some oil inside the lamp by tilting the can slightly. There was very little of it, though. Of course there is. Oh. Let me go ahead and cut some rope if it'll let me at this point, because we could use that. And you can't grab it from this angle, which is a little strange. You gotta go this way, and then you can grab it. Beautiful. And now we can go through this door. I managed to open the door from the other side. So now you can get through that door from this side as well. Okay, so what we're gonna do first, trying to think what I want to do first. We have a key. Where does that key go? What does that key open? I'm not entirely sure what that key opens. I know we can't go outside. Does it open a drawer? That key might open a drawer. The key we found first. Let's see if I can open... Can I open a drawer in the study with that key? I don't remember what that key goes to. Because we found the key first, so let's follow that lead first. We have a key. Does it say what key it is? No, there's no description of it. Alright, so I'll try to use it on the study drawer and see if it opens the study drawer. Because I believe there was a locked drawer. It didn't fit there. Okay. And these aren't locked. Oops. Let me just make sure. No. Where does that key go? I'm trying to think. Is there anywhere where there's a locked drawer? A locked door somewhere? Maybe it opens that one door. Does this journal say anything about the key? Like I thought, neither Jerry nor the electrician will be able to come today. This new turn in my life is getting more and more complicated by the minute. I will survive, but deep inside I'm becoming truly concerned. I have opened the safe. I certainly wasn't expecting a treasure, but its contents were far from spectacular. Just a contract for the construction of the house and a key. It looks like there's a hidden room in the second level of the house. Unless the blueprints are wrong, I can't imagine any reason for it, but it's really there. Doesn't say anything about the key. Can't think of what that key opens. There's nothing in the attic. Nothing upstairs that's locked. Anything in the kitchen? Maybe it's the greenhouse key. Maybe it's the greenhouse key, now that I think about it. It might be a key for something we can't do right now. And I'll show you why. Which you probably already know why, but I'll show you. We have a tattered umbrella here. Yes, I could have grabbed the umbrella and gone outside, but after carefully studying the soggy panorama through the windows, I decided not to. So he's not going to go outside because of the rain, which makes sense. If it's raining so bad, the storm was raging outside and I didn't feel like strolling around in the garden. If the rain is so bad that the roads are closed, like, we're not going out there. By the way, I've never lived in a place where that's happened. And I've lived in Washington State. Like, I lived in the rainiest part of the United States. And, I mean, we gotten flash floods before, but it was never so bad that the roads were closed. I've never experienced that. Are there places in the world where that happens? I imagine in a tropical region that might happen, but I've never encountered that, and I don't think England would have a rainstorm so bad that the roads would close. But they might in Argentina. And so maybe Augustin Gordes was thinking from his neck of the woods, not England. But anyway, doesn't matter. It's not that important. We'll suspend our disbelief for the time being. And I apologize, I keep scratching my nose because my foundation makes my nose really itchy for some reason. Okay, so we won't worry about the key. What we will do is we will go upstairs and we have the hammer. Should we do the hammer first? Should we use the hammer first? Let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and do that before we look into the secret room, because there is another secret room that we already had a hint of finding. Alright, so we're going to use the oil on the wheels. This display case was... Yeah, I know. Can we move it now? Can we move it now? It wouldn't move. Oh, I probably have to do the other wheel. Points for realism, I guess. Now we should be able to move it. Ta-da! It's a door that's been boarded up. And Christopher Milton said in his diary that he was hearing voices, whispers, and drums coming from this door, so he boarded it up. So this wasn't James who did this. This was Christopher Milton that did this. The door is heavily barred, and its appearance reminded me of something I had read, which is what I was just talking about. How Christopher Milton was talking about how he boarded this place up. Alright, so let's use the hammer. So excited. And let's see what's behind this door. What is so dangerous? It's dark. The room was too dark to see anything. Well, let's go ahead and turn on the lights. Let's light the lamp. Is that what we're doing? Mm-hmm. You ready? Oh, James Blackwood did the unthinkable and took the mask that those that African tribe was sacrificing to and doing that horrific ritual for. He took that mask like a dumb, and here it is in front of us. An odd-looking African mask was positioned in the middle of the storm room. Its presence made me feel terribly uneasy. Ooh. Alright, now that there was enough light, I extinguished the lamp to save the oil. So now we open the window, so now we can have some light in here. And there's some other things in here as well. Some writings by James Blackwood. June 24th, 1962. Dear Christopher, please excuse the tone of this letter. I know I must sound like a raving madman, but I truly can't find a proper way to put together all the thoughts that have been taking my sleep away these past days. There is a reason behind all of these recent adversities. It's the mask. Christopher, it's that mask I told you about. I wouldn't believe it myself if I hadn't studied its origins on my own, but it's really the source of all my suffering. The tribe it belonged to, I must confess I didn't take the mask by appropriate means, and I fear this might have unleashed some terrible wrath against my life and everything that surrounds me. It's been over a year ago since I witnessed the most outrageous acts of violence that not even in my worst nightmares could I have imagined, and the mask was the epicenter of it all. What I was thinking of when I took it is beyond me. It was probably a vicious streak of greed, but I can see clearly now. It represents evil, and I'm truly convinced this evil can somehow take shape and punish those who have disgraced it. I did, and now I must face the consequences. I will take some more time to investigate this. I might even go back to South Africa to seek help, although something tells me not even returning the mask would do any good. The damage is already done, and I believe it's getting worse as the days go by. Every time I walk past the gallery, I can hear some incessant odd chatter, as if something was being plotted inside. And those voices, Christopher, they seem to be angry. Please help me. Come and see me as soon as you can. James. Is that it? I think there's more you can read, though. Because this is the letter, and then this is different? Yeah, that's confusing. I think they swapped the hitboxes by accident. July 3rd. My recent researches on the Dharma have shed some light upon their terrible activities. I understand now that the lack of existing information about them was not only a cause of their small size and rarity, but also a reluctance or rather superstitious attitude towards their nature. Even some of the most important historians of South Africa will refuse to mention their name, usually referring to them as the War Tribe. After digging into some of the most obscure books I could find about the subject, I must admit now that reading them made me very nervous and uneasy, bringing back the memory of those horrible acts I witnessed on that day. I can't understand why any human being, uncivilized or not, would behave in such a manner. War among savage tribes is of course very common and a recurring theme in history. But the Dharma, they went even beyond war. Usually a tribe will engage in battle to conquer new territory, or perhaps defeat an enemy. They did it for the sole reason of destruction and extreme love for violence. The account of their actions is downright scary. They'd invade villages, slaughtering every inhabitant without regard for their sex or age. Men, women, children would inevitably perish by their fury and hate, which is, I think, the most unsettling element of their stories. They didn't use any weapons. They killed villagers with their bare hands and teeth as if they were drawing power from an unearthly source. I find it hard to believe this, and if I hadn't seen them, or with my own eyes, I'd say they were some kind of wild legend. Once they'd slaughter every living thing in the village, they'd burn it to the ground, every single construction or possession of the fallen villagers, proof that they definitely were not interested in conquering or even taking some advantage of the terrain. Their motives were moved solely and purely by an incredible despisal of life and hatred towards anything that wasn't from their village. That is another curious thing. They somehow managed to sustain a constant population level, as if they controlled exactly the amount of people needed for an attack, but at the same time warrant survival using the few existing resources. I fear this wasn't some kind of wondrous organization system, but rather an elimination process of a useless member or unnecessary child. I dare not think about it, but I'm afraid this would explain why they didn't need to hunt for food. They feasted upon themselves. Now I know what the mask I took stands for, and I shiver at the thought of it. I must confess I'm worried. I don't know why, but I fear for my life. I would, jeez. Yikes! And now we live in the same house as this mask, but surely nothing bad will happen to us. Surely everything is fine. It's fine. Totally fine. Okay. So now that we've discovered that, let's see what this hidden room is all about. Should be right about here. According to the blueprints I found, a door to a room should be in this spot. Let's see if we can get through the wallpaper. I scratched at the wallpaper only to reveal a doorway that had been bricked up. I was very curious to learn what was on the other side of that door. I had to figure out some way of getting in. Wild. Crazy. Can you just imagine? I can't. That's so crazy. But you know, it might be time to get some writing done. Because you can write in this game. You didn't feel like working yet? Okay, maybe I'm wrong. Scratch that. We'll do that later. Let's see if we can somehow find a way into this room. I do have some tools at my disposal. We do have this window. Maybe we can use this window. What do you think? Large crack. Can we get into it? Can we break it? Yes, with a hammer. Great. There we go. And we're going to put the rope in here. I would have to find some way to secure the rope first. Okay. Well, let's secure it first. Like this. And now we're going to put it in the hole for some extra support. So now it's in the wall, in the hole. And it should be hanging down by the window. Right? Or did I go too far? I went too far. My bad. Here we go. And here it is. You ready? Ready to be wild and crazy? I carefully pondered the situation and thought about what I was about to do. But remember, we would do anything to get into this room. I would do this to find out what the heck is in that room. Why was I obsessed with that room? Whatever occurred inside this house, for that matter. I felt a strong urge to go there, even though I was about to risk my life. I decided that climbing down through the window was the only way to get inside the mysterious room, and I resolved to do it. Let's go! Woo! And what's inside? Something truly terrifying. With the last of my strength, I managed to get inside the mysterious room. And mysterious it was indeed. That empty cradle inside such a dirty, neglected room made me feel very sad. It's a baby's room. I can't think of anything scarier that could be in this room. Just, the peak of horror right here. A child's room. With a creepy lullaby in the background. Oh! It's perfect. The angel was supposedly guarding the room, but it didn't make me feel any safer. Ooh, it just makes me think of the movie The Woman in Black. My favorite horror movie of all time. Oh, it's so good. With all the children's toys. Oh my gosh. If you know, you know. Okay. We've got some pictures, some children's decor. We've got a birth certificate. It was registered on the 9th day of August, 1961. The child's name has been burnt out, but it's definitely a Blackwood child. The date of birth was the 7th of August, 1961, Rothbury, and it's male to male child. The mother was Catherine Lydia Blackwood, and the father, James Thomas Blackwood. Okay. And and Christopher Milton was the physician attending. I wondered if this member of the family was still around town and would perhaps be able to shed some light upon the past history of the house. I had to find some way of getting in touch with him. Now, Michael, do you seriously think that this person is even still alive based on the boarding up of this room? Like, something weird happened with this child if they completely blocked off this room. Wouldn't you agree? But okay. It seemed as if someone took extreme measures to forget about the existence of this room for some reason. Mr. Blackwood? Another picture. Creepy rocking chair. More pictures. The creepy wooden horse seemed to be smiling at me. Whoa. And we can look at these blocks here, which are going to be important later. Especially these ones. But that's for later. Okay, so I think that's everything in here. So I think we can leave. And I'm not entirely sure what's next. We probably... Oh, we have a date now. We have the date of the birth of the child. So let's look up that date in the newspapers upstairs. I looked for any worthwhile news in the edition of May 1963. I checked if there was anything interesting back in August 1961. Okay, the Journal, Northumberland Daily Newspaper, Wednesday, 10th August 1961. Sad news hits our beloved town today, following an announcement that was received with rejoicing amongst many that one of the most illustrious members of our community, Mr. James Blackwood, was having a child soon, and now have to relate a macabre turn of events. The son that was being lovingly awaited by the Blackwood family died shortly after the delivery due to a strange ailment. Understandably, the information disclosed about this happening was succinct. It appears that Mrs. Catherine Blackwood was already suffering from pains in her stomach, probably an indication that there was something not healthy about her pregnancy. Dr. Christopher Milton, who attended the birth, assured us that he made every possible effort to ensure a safe delivery, but with bowed head he said that the boy was already doomed ever since his conception. The cause of death has not been stated, but those few close to the Blackwood family have said there were serious complications during the delivery. Helping to relieve the somber news, Mrs. Blackwood was thankfully found to be out of danger. Her husband did not wish to comment about the event. Okay, so it looks like this child cannot be found and questioned. My huge disappointment quickly gave way to an empty, void feeling. Something wasn't right here. I began wondering if James Blackwood was somehow involved with the death of his son. Interesting. Okay, now what? As it turns out, there really was a door behind the exhibitor in the gallery. I probably subconsciously noticed the frame yesterday and then dreamt about it. I can't think of any other reasonable explanation. The hidden door in the gallery led to a small storeroom. There was a strange mask inside, and more mementos belonging to James Blackwood. The developments of his story is really getting into me now. I can almost feel his suffering, and that mask seems to be the key to the mystery. The hidden room does exist, but I won't be able to get inside through the door. It's been completely bricked off. I have to find another way. I may be insane, but at least I managed to get inside the room. I don't think I understand yet that I have just risked my life. One wrong step and it would have been fatal. As it turns out, the hidden room belonged to the son of the Blackwood family. I still can't tell why it was bricked off, but I should try and see if he's still around. He may be the only one that can tell me what happened inside this house. I guess that deep inside myself I knew the reason why, but I had to make sure. The Blackwood son died a long time ago, which is probably the reason why the room was bricked up and left abandoned. The thing that is not clear is whether the child was born dead or died shortly after delivery. Okay. And none of that really tells me what to do next. Well, is he willing to get some work done now? Let's see. Yes, we're gonna do some work. Typing, typing, typing. Let's see what he wrote. Suddenly she stopped and stood there, paralyzed, hesitant to give any credit to what her eyes were seeing, and completely unaware of the potentially dangerous situation. Surprisingly, there wasn't anything unusual or strange about the event. Little Kathy was hesitantly crossing the living room towards the huge oak door, her fancy black dress fluttering at every footstep. As the girl reached the doorknob, she turned to look back at Marion and urged her to whisper to hurry up. But Marion wasn't seeing Kathy. Her memories haunted her back and displaced reality, giving room to the nightmarish vision she had spent months trying to forget ever since her first visit to the old house. In her dream, she saw the little girl also wearing a black dress emerging from a passageway hidden in the room. She never actually managed to glimpse where the passage was, only saw the girl running towards her, her small face contorted in a horrible grimace. Marion quickly realized it was a twisted version of the Kathy she would know later, as if her figure was then distorted by a veil of smoke. Her exact movements through the room, reaching for the knob, facing her back, those were too many coincidences to ignore. It wasn't a nightmare that she experienced that day, nor ghost something she refused to believe in, but was now willing to blindly embrace as the truth, given the shocking vividness of the vision. A ghost would come from the past. What she'd seen came from the... Her thoughts were interrupted as a figure behind her cast a shadow across the doorstep. "You filthy liar. You have betrayed me," groaned a deep voice. Ooh. So that's a little bit of his novel. But the discoveries I had made in the house were too exciting to stop now. I thought that maybe I could investigate further today and return to work tomorrow. Alright. Let's go talk to Jerry and see if anything new comes up with Jerry.
Yes?
Jerry, it's me. You won't believe what I've found here.
Try me.
It's about the happenings that led to the murder you told me about. There's an impressive backstory surrounding this place and many loose ends. It would seem nobody ever stumbled upon this.
Shouldn't you be working on your book?
Are you listening to me? James Blackwood was into some very weird stuff, and possibly dangerous. Something tells me this case is much more complex than it was thought to be.
Why don't you inform the authorities? I'm sure they'll be dying to reopen a long-forgotten case about some crazy old psycho killing his wife.
No way. And miss all the fun? I'm doing this on my own. I wonder if those noises I heard have anything to do with this. Maybe James Blackwood was trying to hide something.
Like in that book, where an old man was guarding the entrance to hell. I bet this James Blackwood person had a doorway like that in his basement. Those dreadful noises must be the sounds of the damned coming for you.
Why, thanks, mate. That's been very helpful. Great to have friends like you.
Then stop talking about all this nonsense. Do you have any idea how crazy it sounds? You're a writer, not some fancy PI.
I'll get to the bottom of this. I know I will. I'm certain there's much more to James Blackwood than a simple act of murder.
Now you're sounding more morbid than usual. Simple act of murder? Oh, goody. Just somebody died. Nothing to worry about. This isn't like you, Michael. This whole thing is really affecting you.
Stop being a drama queen. I'm a grown-up and I'm pretty aware of what I'm doing.
Fine. Go chase around the ghosts of James Blackwood. I'll stay here in the resort.
I'll let you know about my progress.
We might have to talk to him again. Let me check to see what time it is. The time was 6 p.m. I think we're about done with the day. Let me try calling him one more time. Or not. Okay. Okay. Maybe we are done for the day. Let's go see, because I honestly can't think of what else we could do. Let's see if we can go to bed. I lay down on the bed. We can! Something didn't feel right. What's the first place he would check if something didn't feel right? Let's just make sure it's still there. Where is it? Where is it? So good. It's so spooky! Once again, I was awakened during a bizarre dream by those scratching noises. Oh, spooky. It was so scary when I first played this. Ooh. But we're hearing those scratching noises. But you know what we have tonight that we didn't have last night? A lamp. So yes, unfortunately, what we were thankfully prevented from doing last night, that's no longer an excuse. And we need to go down into the basement to see where those scratching noises are coming from. Alright, light this. Alright. I was like, are you gonna light the way for me or what? Okay, so we've got some scratchy noises definitely coming down here. See this? That's a forward arrow. That's a forward hand. Which means we can get in here. Let's do it! Sounds like a lot of fun! And a great idea. Brilliant. To climb into the furnace. What's this? Looks like it's a hole in the wall. Looking into a door? Oh. Ah! Leave, 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 leave. Get out, get out, get out. Get me out. I want out. Get me out. Where'd it go? Where am I? I can't see anything. Get me out. No, don't go back. What are you doing? Close the door. Get out. Get out. With my heart pounding, I barely gathered the strength to leave the basement. The last drop of oil inside the lamp had been consumed. Oof, stop music. You can stop now. You can stop now. I was too confused to think straight and decided, almost against my will, to return to bed. You know what I want to do now? Sleep. Sleep in my beddy by, knowing that there's some creature or other sleeping in the basement. I'm gonna sleep real good. Real good idea. Again, once again, if I was Michael, I would be walking to town. I would leave on foot immediately in the middle of the night. Don't care. I am not staying here one more second. But of course, that's not what Michael does. I went back to bed. Monday, October 14th, and the rain has stopped. My third and final day inside Blackmore Manor began with an odd feeling of expectation. Still shaken about the occurrences of last night, I managed to pull myself together and focus on finding out what really happened inside this place. So this is our final day. So today is the day where we figure everything out. Yeah. We're going to end the video there. And I will finish the game next video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please click the like button if you liked the video. Leave a comment in the comment section down below telling me what you thought of the video. Click subscribe if you're not subscribed already and you want to see more content like this. And hit the notification bell so you can be notified the next time I upload. My socials are linked in the description. I have an X account and Instagram and TikTok and... what's the other one? Maybe it's my Patreon I'm thinking of, which I do have a Patreon. Instagram, TikTok, X, yeah, and my Patreon. So if you would like to support my content, you can do so by going on my Patreon and becoming a patron of mine. I am also a writer, and I write short stories and novels and mystery stories and poetry and essays and all kinds of things. Currently working on some Harry Potter fan fiction, which I'm almost done with. Very excited. A lot of that is free, including the Harry Potter fan fiction. So if you want to go, feel free and check it out. You don't have to become a patron to read that stuff. Yeah, all linked in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a magical day.